Legend of the loading screen. Well, not anymore. Let's see if I can get together some kind of dungeon here. This is just gonna be a test run. I've done a bit of chocobo races since I've started streaming. Oops. Let's see if I can get together some kind of... There we go. Bit of a brief pause there. I need to figure out a way that I can have my stream channel up and not have the actual stream like playing as... Oops. As I'm streaming. Really, I just want the chat, in case anyone does pop in while I'm streaming, I can say hello or something along those lines. But enough meandering. Meanderating. Let's go for DPS queue, perhaps? Take a look-see. I need a level gladiator. And, let's see. I'm feeling lucky. It'll be Legend of Load times here soon enough. For anyone watching, I'm just testing out the waters again. Like I said earlier, chocobo races seem to run fine enough. I've not tested a dungeon run with my new streaming technique. I'm gonna see if I encounter any kind of stuttering or issues of that nature. And assuming I don't, I may pursue dungeon runs here a bit more in the future. I'll let these guys know I'm streaming. There we go. I gotta pet the cat ladies. There you go. There's a cat guy too, then pet him as well. There's pets all around. I assume they know the drill, so I'm just gonna start moving around and shooting stuff. There we go. This won't be the most compelling commentary. This is more or less just me, like I said, testing the water. I may intermittently give some jokes and japes, but at the moment I'm just kind of relaxing, getting some grind out of the way. What level dungeon is it? It's a low level dungeon. I'll go by the monster level. It's level 24 dungeon. I'm level outside the dungeon, non-synced. I'm like level 30, 37 or so. So this should be a relative breeze unless people start acting dumb. These people seem fairly competent. But just to be on the safe side, I'll make sure I grab this bad boy. I don't know which way you're supposed to go. You can go either way, it doesn't really matter. but I'm gonna go this way. Prison Petrock. What is that supposed to be? I'll Google that after I'm done. I'll write that down in my notes. That has to have some other meaning that I'm missing out on. Like a reference to some mythological beast or something. Maybe, or maybe it's just a random made-up word courtesy of Square Enix. I'll find out soon enough. Now the average Chocobo race doesn't last more than like 5 minutes. So I'm not sure if I've ever streamed anything longer than really that much time, to be honest. So a longer stream may really push my internet to the brink. As I only have 1 megabyte up on a good day. And like I said before, although you may not know this, I was testing things out a couple days ago, or maybe further back ago than that, and 1 megabyte actually started working as opposed to how it used to work in that it did not work. Before I had lots of stuttering issues and such. Now it's actually fairly stable frame rate wise. Frame rate. That enunciation. But if there's one thing I want to have in a stream, it's at the very least a steady frame rate. I can put up with maybe some what's the word, artifacts or JPEGiness to it. But if I'm watching a stream and it's like, if it's like stops every 5 seconds, that is very off-putting. So hopefully it's not doing that right now. Based on my preliminary test, as it were, I don't think I should encounter that same issue. But I'll see here shortly. I don't like this armor set I have because you can't change the color, so I'm more or less running around as a white knight. It's kinda, it triggers me. This is not the preferred color I would use. They're waiting on me, I guess. Yeah. They're waiting on me to push the button. No, and they're probably too dumb or don't care, but I have all my cooldowns mapped to one key. And you're not supposed to do that, but since I'm not at the in-game dungeons yet, I don't really care to have my DPS maximized to its fullest extent. I mean, as long as I hold the aggro and don't die, that is more than enough for me right now. There, guys, done. I gotta push the button for that thing. You guys have not done this before, I think. No. Maybe it's I've done it so many times myself. It's just I'm just used to it going really fast. There we go. But the original format, as I had originally envisioned it, was to do like talking points, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. You know, just stuff to talk about, news, video games, you know, stuff for you to listen to while I'm playing. And that part actually worked out fairly well. As far as I know, the audio quality is, I wouldn't say it's spectacular, but it's adequate for just listening to. So, in a pinch, this could be a podcast. So if you don't want to actually watch me play, which is more than understandable, you know, you could just listen to me droll on about stuff that's not really that important. Did we miss any? I think we missed a thing. We missed a thing. And in that regard, the commentary I hopefully that I present to you when if in the near future I put together a show will be a bit more compelling than my meandering that I'm doing today. My greatest fear would be that if I got the show up and going and then one day my internet starts getting progressively worse without warning, or my software I'm using just doesn't operate the way it's supposed to and it gets all stuttering, that would make me worry. I would be questioning exactly what I did wrong. Yeah, okay, there's no photo cells in here. For some reason I thought there was a photo cell in there. I'm just trying, I want to minimize all the backtracking, or minimize backtracking as much as I can, I should say. I've been on this pony and horse show multiple times, and backtracking is no fun. There's a dog and pony show? It's a saying like that. I come from a place that I should know that saying, and I'm mad that I don't know it for sure. I got close enough to it, but if you're curious as to what, I guess, dog and pony, or horse and pony, or dog and pony, whichever the combination is, whatever that means, it's just a euphemism for a thing. Particularly like an event of some sort. So in this case, we're talking about a dungeon, and this would be the dog and pony show. I'm gonna give this guy a link here in a second. He can listen to me. Oh yeah, I gotta shill my stuff. Let's see. You may see, oops. You may see the screen go black here. But that's just me copy-pasting something. Sweet. I already have a follower. I should have that on my copy-paste before I start a stream. That way I can have quick access to it. That'll be on my list of things I have to take care of. I don't like putting my name out there too much, unless people are actually genuinely interested in what I'm doing. So apart from just like letting them know I'm streaming ahead of time, so they know if they don't want to have anything saved on the internet for posterity that they don't want saved, I don't really go out of my way to push my stream, except maybe in my brand company. You know, 'cause I figure if anyone would give half a shit, they would. For those of you not keen on Final Fantasy XIV lingo, and you should be if you're watching this stream, a company is more or less a guild in this game. It's an disambiguation, whatever you want to call it. I'm deeply afraid that I've forgotten the photo cell somewhere. I'm hoping that if I did, someone else in my group has already picked it up, but I honestly have no clue. One of the biggest problems about doing lower level roulette dungeons is you don't have access to all your skills. And it's not that big of a problem. I just like the utility of having different skills for different situations. So I'm kind of amped for the hard mode when I get to it, because apparently in the hard mode you get access to all your skills and such. But the problem is, if that's the case, if hard mode becomes available to me, you know, I'll want to do that, but then I'll probably be drawn away from the roulette, which is, you know, the whole purpose of the roulette is so that you can play with newer people and help them move up, you know, the tree. The tree of difficulty, or how do you do it? The skill, the path of skill. So, I think I'll continue to do the random roulette for dungeons just to help people out below me. But I am interested in doing the hard mode versions of all the dungeons, just so I can go through them using all my skills. That, and I've heard they revamped all the difficulty and such for hard mode dungeons, which that tickles my fancy, because I'm always looking for a harder challenge. Is that? Yeah, I got a thing there. Okay, they got it. I got one viewer. I'm curious if it's the same guy who's in my party, but I don't know. If he is viewing it, I would assume he's using it as a podcast format, so he'll let me know via the in-game chat. Which, I hope that's what he's doing, unless he has a dual monitor setup, at which case he's a boss, like myself. It's a very oblong setup, the way I have it. My dual monitor, one is like an 18-inch screen, the other one is just a ridiculous, like, I want to say 40-inch screen. It's huge. And that's what I have all my utility stuff on. It's my recording software, my Twitch channel, all those little windows and boxes where I kind of have that stuff contained. And it's a huge TV. Let's see, it's a Hitachi. It's an off-brand TV I got from a pawn shop. And that's one thing I like about pawn shop TVs. Unlike DVD players and other stuff that's more complex, a TV you can definitely ascertain whether or not it works. You know, there's no question as to whether or not does it work, does it not work. It's just plug in the HDMI cable and yeah, it works. Whereas I have a Blu-ray player I got from that same pawn shop, and it's one of those deals where I think it was like made right on the cusp of Blu-rays becoming a thing, and it does not have all the utility that a Blu-ray player has. It has like some internal storage, but just barely enough. This guy says he needs to go to the bathroom, which is too much information. Although I've said worths, so it's fair play. It's fair play. I think I'm stuttering. I don't know for sure. And which is fine for my party goer here if he's actually listening to it. But if anyone's actually watching, God forbid, it may not be as good. I think if it is stuttering, the problem would lie maybe in it being a dungeon. That, or maybe the fact that I alt-tabbed earlier. That can sometimes cause some issues here and there. But I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. I'll see the results of my work here shortly. Oh, no, maybe not too shortly. So we're about after this guy, we have about, I would say, yeah, the next boss would be the halfway point, I guess, or a little less than halfway point. The place has a lot of trash in it. For the uninitiated, trash is just monsters that aren't really worth fighting and that don't really offer up anything good for killing them. it looks like it's back to being. It looks like it's back to being stable now. When I'm talking about being stable, I have a little box that determines my connection, and as long as it's green, that is like it's good times. But if it like jumps to yellow or red, that's like not a good sign. But it's not necessarily indicative of stuttering, but it may involve stuttering if I see that. My person left. That's okay. I have this actual stream labeled Final Fantasy 14. Well, not labeled, but it's under the moniker of a Final Fantasy 14 stream. So if someone wanted to watch a Final Fantasy 14 stream, my stream would be in the list of that game for the Twitch network. So basically, you can stream any game you want, and if someone's hunting down that particular game, there's a chance they'll stumble across your stream, which is, I think that's pretty neato. At the same token, what was I gonna say? I know Twitch has recently, actually this happened a while ago, has been purchased by YouTube. So that may have something to do with the future. I would go into a further talking point, but I'm not that knowledgeable on the YouTube/Twitch exchange. I just know that it has occurred and effects will be forthcoming. I'm not sure if my connection will be a problem. Like I said, I've seen the same thing pop up during my recent tests, and it wasn't indicative of stuttering, but it just makes me worried that there may be stuttering. And the problem is, like I said, when I'm doing a dungeon stream, I can't tell what the results of my creation will be until we're done with the dungeon. So I'm not about just to quit halfway through and see if I have stuttering issues. That would not be considerate. But as someone who's used YouTube, that one guy had to use a restroom, didn't he? Is he the healer? I didn't even think about it. Aset Valdar. No, he's somebody else. He'll catch up. Unless he's dropping like a deuce. He didn't say what he had to do. He could be doing any number of things in the bathroom. That's pretty disgusting. The more I think about it, the less I want to know. Where was I going? Stream and Twitch. I have a YouTube channel as well. That's where I will upload this, assuming it passes my quality test here after this gets underway. What I'm not excited about is there. I was not seeing my little indicators pop up for my attacks, which show what the next special is going to be, which is indicative of there being a bit of lag on my end, which is fine. This game is a bit laggy in and of itself, so you know, a little bit of lag isn't going to kill the game. Like I said, I'm not too worried about the lag in-game so much as the lag that I may be suffering on my stream. I did not see this last little cell mite here. But even with me half paying attention and giving you my monologue here, it looks like this group is pretty capable. They're no dummies. Oop. What else to talk about? I do want to keep talking a little bit, because I need to make sure that I can, just be talking all throughout a stream and make sure the quality maintains, the same kind of level all throughout. The only biggest bit of... This guy's trying to find my stream. I'm telling him, just focus on the dungeon, bro. Don't worry about it. Let this guy know. I'll send him the link again here after we get done. If he is indeed interested. I mean, he like okay, here's something I can talk about. The way the servers are set up for Final Fantasy XIV are when you do a dungeon roulette, you're not guaranteed to play with people on your own server. This is the same way WoW does their dungeon finder as well, and deservedly so. I think it does get a bit of flack because there's a very real possibility I will never encounter any of these people I'm playing with ever again. Assuming, of course, they're all on different servers, which is most likely the case. Now, like I said, that's not the worst thing in the world. But the way it is set up right now, you can pretty much get a group together in less than 30 minutes, which is important for the sake of convenience. But in terms of world building and allowing people to socialize and congregate in one place, it's not the best way to go about it, I think. But you have to do a give and take. And what would I do? How would I do it? What would I do? I can't think of any way you could really program the servers in a way. Oh, Nelly. Now they got it. I can't think of a way, like I said, that you could really program it so that you could interact with people apart from just, changing servers, which you can already do for a price. But, just casually, grouping up with a group of people you played with before that were, halfway decent. There's no real way to do that in the current way the game's set up. Oh geez, which way do we go? This way? Let me check. When in doubt, consult the map. Right, so it puts a block when you're trying to socialize with folks, and if you're in a friend company or whatever kind of company, then yes, you can join up with them and they can run dungeons with you. I run dungeons with my company every so often, but not everyone has that option. Either they're antisocial or they just are too inept at playing and they can't find a regular company group. And that'll fall to pugs and such to pick up the slack, and you're basically running around with a bunch of people you don't even know. And like I said, this is not the worst system by far. It does allow for convenience. It does have its utility, but there seems like there'd be a better way of going about it. And I'm sure as soon as WoW finds out that way, everyone will follow suit. Okay, here's a topic I read about. The Dragon's Dogma Online, I think, is being developed by the same guy who did a lot of the work on this game, actually, Final Fantasy XIV. If you look at some side-by-side screenshots, the way the world is set up in that game, and the way the game uses controller mapping is fairly similar. Getting some FPS loss. But actually my frames dropped. That's what shows if I'm actually losing frames per second. Is relatively small. I've only dropped 361 frames. And it's like, how many frames is that? You know, it's a lot of frames. But you have to understand, I'm shooting at around 20 frames a second. Or all 24 frames. Optimistically, fingers crossed, you know, with my internet connection. But, so, out of all the frames that I've taken, you know, 361 is not that bad. And as a percentile of all the frames lost, I'm at 0.79%, which is, so, you know, less than 1% of the frames I've recorded are being lost. So, I should have a fairly stable frame rate. I shouldn't be having too much choppiness. I hope. Fingers crossed, you know, I don't know. I may have to finagle some settings, maybe downgrade a few things to get a little bit more quality. If that's the case, I can go ahead and do that. I'm not worried about that. I noticed when I stopped talking, that changed my upload rate a little bit. So talking has a bit. It has a bit of a. Let me tell these guys what to do real quick. Shut up a second. There we go. This guy's trying to get technical. Are we burning or not? I'm not on fucking fire. I don't know. No. The less complex you make things, the better. So let's let the roles be defined. I'm gonna hit this guy and make him mad at me. You take care of everything else that I'm not in charge of, which is the pods and the additionals. But like I said, I'm gonna be getting the additional mob's attention here as well. And now my frame rate's all the way back up, you know, 25 frames per second, but it was slowing down quite a bit earlier. You know, like, why? Was I downloading something for a brief moment? Did I have a browser open in the background that was eating up my bandwidth? What happened? You know, did a bird land on the wire outside? I don't know. Like, I'll have to watch the replay and see if there was anything indicative of that slowdown. But I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But now I'm running at 25 frames per second and nothing, or at least that's what it's telling me. My software that tells me what's going on. Ooh, poison! Get out of the poison! Get out of the poison! Banana pants. I should be focusing. I can focus on these guys. It seems like. I need to pop my stuff. Leave it to me to not be using any of my special skills during a boss fight. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, Nelly. I better cast Convalence so that— whoa, that's a lot of fucking spiders. Or shit. Oh, jeebers. Oh, nice. That was a well-placed limit break. I'll have to pat that guy on the back. There we go. He's dead. He's dead. And that's very good, because I was starting to fumble it there. Alright. This hopefully just before he leaves. I'm trying to tell this guy how to watch my stream after the stream is finished, which is fine. Let's see, Mr. Uset Vadir. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having an interest. I'll give him accommodation. Can't copy. This guy doesn't know how to. Oh, he's playing on a console. Oh, you console baby. He's a console baby. It's okay. Wait, what? Wait, he's not on a console, so how? Ah, I can copy. I'll show this guy how it's done. Like that, man. Highlight it. Highlight plus control plus C. I'm explaining to this guy that he should be able to copy paste. Perplexing. Look at his hand. Wait, I gotta pet him since he's a cat guy. There we go. Pets. There you go, friends. You know they like being petted. That's why they're cat folk. I can't. Why? How could he not copy and paste? It's some kind of wizard magic. I'm not gonna even bother getting into it. Right. If you are watching the stream now, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna shut it down. Ugh. And we're gonna see what kind of quality, if any, I was able to retain. Like I said, I did notice there was a bit of yeek part in the middle there where we started to lose frames. But like I said, that dropped frames. It's showing 361, which I believe is total frames, and that's good. That's not too bad considering I'm shooting 24, 25 frames per second. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. We're gonna shut her down. I am so close to 26,642.7. Oh man, I am so close. It's oh so close to being next level. Alright, but yeah, that's it. We're shutting her down. Shutting her down right now. So if you're watching, you're about to be disappointed because I'm about to shut her down right